Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing really well. We're gonna keep it today. We're gonna talk about three things today. Tomorrow is FOMC meeting. Okay, tomorrow is a day where the Fed, trying to decrease that interest rate. Yeah, we're gonna look into that a little bit. Let's see if we can look that right now. Gonna decrease their interest rate. So that's the first part. Let me just share my screen very quickly. Let me see how I can do that. Awesome, cool. So this is what Fed is going to decrease the interest rate real quick. So we've got you can see the date. Okay, so this is how. Okay, for those who are new who do not know what the market is all about, let's explain this a little bit. So we have there's only two things. Okay, write it down. There's only two things that's going to affect the stock market. There's only just two things, literally. Yeah, no matter what happened. The first is the interest rate. Okay. The stock market is actually affected a lot by the interest rate, one of the biggest things. The second thing is obviously the earnings. Okay, the earnings. Just two things affect the stock market eventually after everything. Just two things. Stock market is the earnings, how much the companies actually make, as well as the interest rate. Why the interest rate? Because when they reduce the interest rate, people are easier to borrow money. So it stimulates the economy. When people borrow money, it's good. It's good for the economy. If you want to prevent a recession, you want people to spend money. If people don't spend their money, recession happens because people are fearful. They don't want to spend their money. Recession happens and it trigger, a recession. But if you want to stop a recession, they want people to spend money. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. You stimulate the economy. So this is what happens. So usually when the interest rate goes, let's say, goes up, down the chat box, do you think the stock will go down or go up? Usually when the interest rate goes up, do you think the stock will go up or go down? Type in chat box real quick for me, please. So let's look at the interest rate. Interest rate, that historical. Yeah, down the chat box real quick for me. Let's have a look together. So let me see what you guys say. Wow. You're absolutely right. Which they meet 8 times a year. Who? Interest rate and what? The Fed interest rate. So Nami, Zoom, Numi, Suki, Vish, Swaswana, Rational, everyone says go down, which is usually what happened. Okay. When the interest rate goes up, the stock usually comes down. Why? Logically, because it's harder for people to borrow money. And when it's harder for people to borrow money, people don't spend money. And if you don't spend money on Tesco, you don't spend money on Apple, you don't spend any money on Tesla, obviously the stock's gonna come down. Yeah. So that's what happened. So this is literally what happened. Like this is how the interest rate has been in the past 10 years. This is a Fed interest rate, okay? United States. Nothing to do with the UK. Usually UK will follow after, but it wouldn't be too far behind, okay? So for example, you can see 2016, you can see this is just after the crisis, whatever crisis, the financial crisis and everything. And then you can see in 2000 during the corona, and government wants to encourage people to spend money and the market goes down. You can see, the interest rate actually goes down because at that time if you get a mortgage your interest rate is around 0.25, like 1, like 1.5, like 0 point something, because that's what the interest rate was at that time. Okay, so they're talking about, okay, because they're trying to stimulate the economy, obviously then to print money, and then afterwards they'll be like, wow guys, this is enough now. And then halfway through they'll be like, guys, we interest rate is too low, inflation is coming in because people keep spending money. So let's stop people from borrowing money. So that's what happened. They increase the interest rate big time. So you can see December 15, when they kind of decided to increase their interest rate from the lowest in history, 0.25 to higher. Do you think the stock, this is where, you guys say down? Let's see whether it's true. So December 15, 2021, when they start to increase the interest rate, this is the interest rate. Let's see what happened. So if you go all the way back, where are we? If you go all the way back, 2000, and yeah, here you can see just right here in December time, 2021, when they increase the interest rate, you can see stock started to go down big time. Okay, stock started to go down big time. You can see December time, 2021. Yeah, where are we? Low. So come back. Yeah. So this is kind of they kind of announced it a few months before, and then stocks started to go up big time. Okay. Sorry. I mean the interest rate started to go up big time and stocks started to come down. Okay. Stocks come down, coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down like that. Yeah. And then to a certain point, and they say that, you know what, we're not going to increase the interest rate so much anymore. Okay. Around 4.5, 4.75, guys, is too much now. Let's just slow down a little bit. This is where the market starts to become normal. Okay, the market starts to become normal, and then market starts to become normal, starts to go up, starts to go up. So they started to reduce the interest rate a little bit last year. In August last year, they started to reduce the interest rate a little bit. Okay, so you can see there's a dip last year. Okay, there's a pullback. People buy a little bit. And then when people think it's going to come down really nicely, and December time, people say, you know what, guys, we don't have to reduce interest rate anymore. Let's make it constant. Okay. And what happened to the stock? The stock actually stopped moving. The stock go sideways for 4 months. Okay. Then let's go sideways, 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 sideways. So you can see literally from last year, December till September, our interest rate will be 4.5 like that. Okay. So it has been like that. And then recently, the Trump was like, guys, let's reduce the interest rate a little bit. And people are losing their job because of AI. Because, when you lose your job, when people lose their job, they want to stimulate the economy. To stimulate the economy, they reduce the interest rate to help you to borrow money. So, so you borrow money and then it goes, but this is kind of already priced in. You remember, we kind of always act a few months before, yeah? Like before here, you kind of already know. They already let you know, okay? So for example, here, they kind of let you know already. So this is like, what day is it? September time. They will be like, okay, the cut was 61%, 64, 83%, we're going to cut. This is a poly market, okay? This is like when people play sports betting, and this is their odds. Okay, this is their odds over time. You play football, there's some odds, so you can see, and sometimes it can be quite accurate. Yeah, so it was going down like that. So the Fed, and then suddenly, literally here, November 16, 17. Where is this? Let's look. November 13. They are thinking that November, you can see ever since probably October 26. Usually they are thinking it's going to cut the rate. So they're thinking about accidentally they say, maybe we're not going to cut. Maybe we're not going to cut. So since November 1st till the end, the market has been struggling. Yes. November 1st, market struggle a little bit. All the way to November 23rd, when they say, you know what, guys, we're actually gonna cut interest rate, because they were thinking about, oh, maybe there's no cut. Okay, maybe there's no cut. You can see there's no change. Maybe there's no cut. And then suddenly be like, oh, maybe there's a cut. So for 1 week to 2 weeks time, the stock market kind of trigger a little bit. Okay, there's where this 5% drop happened. Okay, 29th of October to the bottom 21st of November. So we can see here. 1st of November, they'll be like, oh, maybe there's no cut. Maybe there's not gonna be a cut. And then to the point where 22nd of November, they'll be like, oh, there's a cut. And then market start to rebound back. Yeah, market starts to rebound back. And yeah, so that's what happened. And then it's just like that. It's just like that. It's just like that. It's just like that. Okay. So that's what happened. So this is tomorrow. Tomorrow they are saying that how many percent is going to cut? 97% tomorrow is going to get cut. Okay. This is like kind of priced in already. Yeah. Kind of priced in already. Usually what's going to happen is, trader likes to trade stuff. Even though we know coffee is going to come down, we know that cattle eventually is going to come down, eggs is eventually is going to come down, but it doesn't come down like that. It goes like it goes like that, like that, like that. It's crazy, isn't it? That goes like that. So the same thing here. So tomorrow, even though you know that it's gonna cut the interest rate, 25% cut. So interest usually will pretend the stock market is gonna spike up. Usually, okay. As a beginner, you'll be like, you never do the training, you'll be like, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be like, oh, tomorrow is gonna spike up big time, the market like that. Yeah. But we know the markets kind of like buy the rumors and sell the news. Okay, buy the rumors, sell the news. So it's kind of already priced in before. So it's whatever wants to go up is kind of go up a little bit already. Okay, in the past it's kind of gone up a little bit. So tomorrow, usually historically, you have to back test to see exactly what happened on each of the cut. I post it on my wall as well. Usually there's going to be a correction. Okay. Usually there's going to be a corrections kind of going on there. Yeah. Usually. But tomorrow, what exactly is going to happen at 7 o'clock UK time? What exactly is going to happen is this is exactly going to happen. It went up big time to cut a lot of your stop loss, and then it came down suddenly big time, came back out suddenly. Just do that basically. and then, and then they just follow the reaction. So let me just do exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So this is 7 o'clock, suddenly seven. Yeah. I've been doing this for like 15 years. And so I usually do that. So whenever you have a stop loss and stuff like that, you get triggered just on that day. You just went up, went down, went up, went down like that. It's crazy. Literally, that's literally what happened. And then literally then it relaxed a little bit, relax a little bit, and it went down, it relaxed. And then suddenly decide to go back out a little bit. And then only it forms its direction. Okay. Normally it went down a little bit, and then only it forms its true direction. Eventually it's gonna go back up big time. Okay. Eventually it's gonna go back out big time. But it's gonna do that first before anything kind of happen. So let me see if I got some pictures of what's usually happen. Let me see if I found some pictures. Oops, what was that? Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's something like that, where are we? So something like that, you're gonna see NYFC meeting usually is like that. Okay, this is you can go back in time and have a look. Go back in time and have a look. And it's December. Okay, that's kind of tomorrow. Usually it's like that. It's not a big problem. You don't really need to know this, but is how do I say? So the key point right now is just in January, if what are they gonna do with the rate? Okay. What are you gonna do with the rate? Okay, let's Google. So January Fed interest rate. Okay. Pounders interest rate. Let's see, Fed meeting calendar interest rate. How do I know? High or same? January 2026. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Fed's interest rate. What is this? That's the chart. Okay. Anyway, so that's what happened. So let's answer some of your questions. Some people ask me, how do you use volume to make money? Okay. How do you use volume to make money? So let's talk about that questions real quick. This is how we use volume to make money. Okay, we talked about this last week, but repetition is a secret to success, and I have updated it a little bit. You can take a screenshot. So as I show you, when we are at extreme fears below 10, you can start adding, 10% of your position. I mean, extreme fear. Okay, let's make it like that. At 20% when it's below 10% of the fear. Okay, of fear, and at 10% when it's below 20% of fear. Okay. When it drops 10% extreme, you can also add 10% every day. Yeah, when it's dropped below 10% extreme fear, you can also add. So if it gets to 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you just have to keep adding it. Yeah, you will see that if you add it, you're gonna make a lot of money. Market valuation, we say that when it's below 6, you add one time 10%. Below 10, you add another 10%. Below 15, you add 80% of your money, no more cash. That's really good. Volume spike is here. Okay, at 10 positions when the volume spike. Okay, open insider cross 30% of your money in, and then AAIA at 10% when it's one of the highest bearish. Okay, compared to the past 6 to 12 months, and provided that the market valuation is -6, so you add another 10% if the numbers go higher than the previous one. So let's say you're on 60 and -61, you add a little bit more, okay? Dollar cost averaging like that. This is a put and call ratio. When it reaches 0.94, the line above that line, you add, let me just show you. I like this website. Yeah, where is it? This one. So you can see, just to recap back a little bit. So when it is above here, 1, every time above 1 here, you will add what? You will add 10%, yeah, over 0.94, you add 20% of your position. When it is above 1.1, you can go all in. Okay, previous reaches high, you can only do 2 to 10%. So that's kind of what happened. This is 1. We're talking about this website. This is 1. This is 1.2. Okay, when it's here, you can go all in like that. When it's here, you go around 20%. Normal resistance, which is what we got recently, you can add around 5 to 10% as well. Okay, just take a screenshot, you will get it. I have a video on this, break it down in detail. Send me a text after this phone call so I break it down for you. VIX reaches resistance high. We talk about it. CCI, government is decreasing the interest rate. You use leverage when everything says yes. So we talked about this last week. We're not going to talk about it again. So you go into high growth stocks when the markets drop more than 10% from all-time high. Okay. And if you drop more than 18% of all-time high, that is where you can use leverage. As we talked about yesterday or last week, 1K, very, very small amount. Let's say you only times 3, you times 5, the one stock, and you use a little bit of a leverage. You can use times 10, you can times 20 leverage, whatever that is. You make 30K just like that, and you times 3 again, and you don't use any more leverage, you make 90K just like that. Yeah. And then you do one more time, you times 3 again. This is where you start clicking forget password. Okay, you click forget password, 6 months later you come back, 3 months later you come back, and then 270K just like that. Yeah. And then you break it down like that really, really nicely using the power of compound interest. Yeah. So we talk about that just to recap that really quickly. So let's talk about how to use volume, which is just this one. How do you use volume? We say at 10% position when a volume spike. Okay. So for example, volume, just remember, volume is a situation where a lot of people are doing something. They can be, a lot of people are coming in, a lot of people are going out, whatever that is. A lot of people are doing something. We don't know whether they are buying, we don't know whether they are selling. You kind of have to read the price action, read the chart, and see. But most of the time, you never know. Okay, you only know people are coming in. Okay, so what do you mean? So you see, at any time when there's a high volume, it's actually a time where you can add some position. So you can see vertical line, high volume here, one of the highest volume. You add position here, I would say congratulations. Okay, let's just do one more time. Vertical here, so it went down and then it went back up really nicely. Okay. So you usually go opposite of what happened. You can see there's a high volume here. You're in the bottom. Congratulations. You came back down and it went back up really nicely. And we've got a little bit of a high volume here, a little bit of a bottom. That's okay. And the last high volume is here. So that's what happened. This is on week 3 video. Yeah. Now remember the video training, you want to repeat as many times as you can. Okay. And here, and then here, and then here. So you can see these are the reversal. So you went down, we reversed back up. went down, reverse back up at 10 position, went out, reverse back up at 10 position, just using this one really beautiful strategy. Yeah. We talked about coffee some time ago. Now, we don't just use this like that. What is really, really nice is you combine with other strategy. What do you mean? So you combine with your support line, you combine with your resistance line, you combine with your overvaluation. Everything that we talk about here, you kind of combine them together. You usually 10% on the condition of 1 and 2. So when you're in extreme fear, this is talking about stocks, okay? Market valuation is very low. That's where you will add position, okay? Based on that. Jay, that's fine. That's fine. The coffee trade can continue to run. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Because I'm talking about the stock went up and down is for stocks. Okay. Coffee usually you won't do anything for what? For FOMC, yeah, for the interest rate. Anyway, let's come back here. So let's talk about coffee a little bit. Okay. So now, this is the key about coffee, okay? This is the key. The key here is you already know eventually things is going to come down. Why? Because you can see coffee has this year or whatever that is, let's say this year will just be, yeah, will be here, the 3-1. Okay. So this year coffees went up around like that, 30%, just like that. So we know that things are quite high here and the election is coming. Trump really wants inflation to come down, affordability to come down. So you want it to come down, but we don't know when it's going to come down. Okay, we never know. But we know it's going to come down. But trader likes to trade, trader likes to do this, they like to do this before it come back down. So it gives you these type of things. So what our job here is to make sure that we short it at the high, we short it at the top. So we want to find a resistance with a combination of a volume to help us. Okay, so that's what happened. So if you look at it carefully, so sometimes it's difficult to see, but try your best. Okay, so for example, if I am gonna be like, so you back test first, okay? You don't just do it like that, and you'll be like, okay, let me back test to see what happened whenever volume spike. Okay, you can do that. So let's see. So usually if you are looking at minute chart, 5-minute chart, you will go back there. But if you look at an hourly chart, you can go to hourlies as well. Okay, that's what we are kind of gonna do. So let's backtest a little bit. So you can see the first really strong one that we've got is kind of here. So let's study the pattern a little bit. It shows that when it goes up, it wait for another like 5-7 days. It wait for a few beats, exhausted, come back down. Okay, so let's do another one. So you have to back test. Different traders have to trade a different thing. It went up, and then it went down a little bit like that. And this one literally is a huge spike. Okay, and then we've got here. This is quite nice. It went down. Massive. This is very classic. I see this all the time. This is a classic volume pattern. It happens on SP 500. It happens on many things. If anything, you have to remember this. This is a very classic textbook. There's no textbook that's going to show you this, but this is very classic because this is usually what happens, People are coming down big time, and then suddenly a huge exhaustion, a huge volume spiking it down. Usually people will want to spike, want to go down like that. No, it's actually, exhausted. A lot of people are coming in exhausted. So markets change of direction like that. Very, very usual, very, very normal. And this is a money-making situation because you can see very clear. Things coming down, suddenly there's a big spike like that. There's a reverse going up. Okay? It's a very clear money-making situation. So then the rest is just like that. So the next kind of big spike is kind of here. This kind of a big spike kind of here, like that. This is also quite typical, okay? Very typical. Went up like that, exhaust big time. All the buyers got exhausted, push up big time. Buyers finishes. Suddenly the candle red, it came down like that. Okay. Yeah. Candle red, it came down like that. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Now, on a smaller time frame is even more probably beautiful as well. So you see. So for example, if I want to short coffee right now, okay, I would not short right now here. Most people will be like, oh, let me just short it here right now. It's okay actually. If you want to short right now, it's fine, but you have to mentally prepare to lose all your money where it's gonna go all the way up to the resistance line. Okay, resistance can be anything. It can be here, can be 4,000, can be 3,900, can be 3,800. But usually, and we never know, but usually you can see this is on a downtrend, isn't it? So based on week two strategy, you do a downtrend like that, you know. So it's showing that this is what most likely is gonna happen. But it might not, it might go all the way up there. Okay. But this is most likely what's gonna happen. So let's just pretend. So that means that if you really want to short this guy, you're gonna have to wait for it to come back up there with a combination of a volume spike. Then your life is very simple. Okay, let's just show you a little bit more so you understand what I meant. So for example, let's say you are like, oh, what's gonna happen? Let's have a look. Let's see. You will be like, ooh, you know? Okay, let's make it really clear one. This is okay, you know, this is kind of okay. A little bit clear, but it's okay. So this is why the resistance helps. So you can see this is already a resistance. Let's pretend you can't see anything, okay? Can I delete everything? Okay, delete everything. So you can see, let's pretend you can't see anything, yeah? You'll be like, okay, my price is here. First of all, you draw your resistance line, okay? You draw your resistance. Resistance is here. But you don't know really where of this resistance is going to do anything, okay? So I will show you another one. How do you know exactly where it's going to drop? By pinpointing at that time which volume is the highest. In this situation, it looks like this volume is the highest. Let me just draw for you, okay? Can you see this volume a little bit higher? Yeah, this volume is higher. So it looks like this is a very important candle. This candle is in the range of 40 to 39. So 40 to 39 is a very good entry already. So let's just do a channel. 40 to 39. Okay, this is kind of like a good entry because this is a very big spike of volume. Usually this could be a resistance line. Okay, usually. So you will be like, okay, I don't know where it's gonna happen. So you'll be like, okay, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on. But you will be like, okay, okay, okay. And then what happened? And then you will be like, okay, wait, you know, you'll be like, okay, there's one resistance here. So you could have add position here because there's a spike of volume here. So if you add position here, I would say it's okay. I would say congratulations actually. Add position here. But normally it doesn't come down eventually immediately. We'll be like, okay. So and then it continues to go higher. So can you see it goes even higher? So it goes higher. There's there's a volume spike here. Another volume spike if you're brave, you add another more position a little bit there. Because the volume spike here, can you see? This is it. So you about 20 toy. Sometimes it's like that. It touches one time, not properly, not resistant properly, and then this one it touches the resistant properly to scare people. And it came back down like that the world has never seen before. So you add a position here, you add a position here, like that. For things that you are quite sure, you yeah, you don't really. I personally, for things that I'm really sure, because our stock market right now is affected a lot by Trump. You know, April is by Trump. You know, he talked about tariffs. You know, right now it's also very much by Trump. And because I know my mental resistance is the highest, it's around here, it's 4.2. So all I want to make sure is I have enough money to cover to 4.2. Okay, 100 pound, I need to make sure this have 100 pound. Otherwise, it's gonna have a margin call. So I just need to make sure I have enough from if I enter here, I need to make sure I can survive to here. Okay. So that's what happens. So if I enter here, so it comes back down really nicely. So this is a really big time. Okay, 40K 39 is a really nice resistance. But maybe sometimes it might not come back there. So continue to come back down, you know. It's gonna go up and down, you know, things just like that. up and down, up and down, up and down. And you will be like, okay, how do I know this is not going to continue to go up? So what happened here is that one day it just fall down massively. And then this is where Trump talk about tariffs, really removes all the tariffs. It came back down massively. A lot of our students already close position here because if you study history, whenever there's a big spike going down, it usually recovers back. People eaten all these get back. So coming back down, people eat all these get back. So some people already close position in, and it's very oscillating. And then it went up like that. So the question is, how do you know whether it's gonna stop, here, or it's gonna stop here, or it's gonna go all the way to the top? How do you know that? So this is where you add position on at each resistance level, okay? So what do you mean? So if you use our volume spike again, so obviously this is our resistance we already drawn. And the second resistance is kind of like, you look at where there's a huge volume spike. You can see the next huge volume spike is actually this candle. Very huge volume spike is this candle, okay? Kind of this candle, and then let's see if there's another one without that. It's just around here, here, here. So because it's around here, so these three make sense as well, yeah? 1, 2, 3. If I go to weekly chart, it's around here. 39, between 39 to 40, okay? So to pinpoint it exactly, we are still looking for a spike of volume. So it's going down like that, it's going like that. So it's gone sideways for a very long time. Really nothing to do. It's just gone sideways. And then let's see. So you can see, okay, because this candle is so huge, so you can't see the candle properly. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove this candle. At least you can see things a little bit properly. So let's go to a little bit smaller time frame a little bit. So this is a big candle. Let's just remove that big candle a little bit there. So you went up like that, and then like that, and then like that, and then like that, and then like that, like that, and then like that. Crazy, crazy. Okay, let's have a look one by one. Let's study all of this one by one, okay? So first, spike of candle obviously is this. Oops. And the second spike of candle obviously is going to be this. Third spike of candle is obviously going to be like that. Another spike of candle is probably going to be that. It's not very high, but it's okay. And another spike of candle, a little bit here. Another spiral candle would just be there. Another spiral candle would just be between these. Wow, crazy. Can you see how money makes like that? That's it. That's how money is made. It's crazy, isn't it? So look, it's a reversal. Remember, it went up, spike of candle, it faked out a little bit, and eventually came back down like there's another one kind of like, yeah, eventually came down like that quite nicely. Okay. Same thing, it went up, big candle, suddenly, and it went down, After it went down, big candle, suddenly reverse back up. Okay. More reverse back up like that, more reverse back up. Back up, you are very happy. Big candle happen, come back down. Yeah, lots of students at the positions just right here. And it went down like that. It went down like that. And then it's a big candle going on. And then it reversed back up. So wow, Raven, I can't do this. This is too much for me. Yes, this is too much for you. And you don't need to know this. This is a bit too much. This is a bit too much, okay? And you don't need to know this, okay? You just need to know from some very simple stuff. Let's say you look up meta. Meta is easier. Okay, let me show meta. Anything is easier. This is like you really spend some time, you really back test a little bit, and you'll be like, wow, what's going on here? Wow, what's happened? You back test a little bit like that. It can be fun. It can be fun. When you study it a little bit, when you learn it a little bit like that. But just remember, just to make it easier, when you see a huge spike of volume, you have to back test because different companies tends to do different things. Spike down, but usually you can spike up and it went out like that. This is daily chart, okay? Easier for you, yeah? Spike down, there's a big spike of volume here, 7th of April, went up big time like that. Yeah. So sometimes there's when it come down, there's a big spike of volume coming down as well. Go up, sometimes it might be a big spike of volume. Sometimes, not all the time. Like these ones as well. You see, it went, going up, exhaustion, big spike of volume, and then it came down like that. Yeah, that's what happens. So if you want to buy this guy, a very good signal will just be, let's see. If you want to buy this guy, a very good signal. You can see this side kind of as a resistant line, like here as a big spike, and then it went up and then it resist back a little bit. Okay, so a next big spot, it will be when a volume spike. But I would say if you haven't added any opposition, you want to add meta below 60. Do a pending order at meta 60 is quite a good call using 10 to 20% of your money there. Obviously, the big spike here will be really nice. If you found a big spike, will be really, really nice as well. Yeah. Same thing with Bitcoin, really. A little bit of the volume there going on, giving you some chance. Um, went down, big spike of volume going on, came down, and then it kind of reversed back a little bit there. Yeah. Came down, and then suddenly there's a lot of volume going on here. Yeah, a lot of volume going on here. When we have a big volume, not necessarily it's gonna go up big time. You'll be like, oh, is it gonna go up big time all the time? You can have a look. Let's see if it's gonna go up big time all the time whenever we have a drop and a volume. So drop, no volume. The volume is here. The higher volume is here. So this is the bottom, the 20. Yeah, the higher volume is here. It's around, yeah, there's no volume here. Higher volume is here. Right now. So if you haven't added yet, you added some position on Bitcoin, added some position on what is that called? Ethereum, even Solana, even the repo. You added a little bit there using 10% of your money. It's fine, because there's a spike of volume here at the bottom. You can use Coinbase, you can use Binance, yeah. So it might come down again because tomorrow, maybe it's gonna correct a little bit. So it might come down a little bit. I would say anything below 85, put a pending position on 85 is fine. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened there. If your hand is itchy, you want things to start working a little bit, that's quite good. Tesla could be quite nice as well. Let's have a look on Tesla real quick. Um, you're not missing out on anything. A lot of people think you're missing out. You're not missing out. Look, in September and today, Tesla is exactly the same position. People who bought Tesla 6 months ago today is exactly the same. Nvidia exactly the same. S&P 500 exactly the same. Anyone who invested 6 months ago and today is exactly the same. Okay, like people who bought like whatever, they start queuing to McDonald or to anything, start queuing. People who start queuing 6 months ago and today you just come to the line, you are the same line as people who queued 6 months ago. So patience is really important here. We want you to come down to the bottom around below 40. It will be really nice. Let's see the volume spike. This volume spike is, yep, it acts as a support line there. Okay, 40 will be quite nice then. Yeah. So that is kind of what happened just right there. You can see our indices already indexed. We are the resistance line, came back up, come back down, came back up, come back down. With a little bit of a pullback, a little bit here. Is that possible to go up a little bit? It's just like that. What do we say? Last week we recommend some trades. You can see we recommend the first one. Afon AG, we say good short. Let's talk about let's see. Okay, let's see. Could you compare DTC crazy up spike? Yeah, so this is why we don't just use one strategy. We use all of these combined. If it is one strategy, guys, from day 1 to day 30 or 5 weeks of module, we just talk about volume. We will just talk about that if it's just one strategy. This is why we have so many things combined together. This is just based on one of them, condition with 1 and 2. Yeah, with the extreme fears and market valuation and with the resistance and support line. Okay, just to give you the odds on that. Otherwise, for 5 weeks, we will just talk about this and no change. Cool. Now let's talk about what am I talking about? Yeah, last week we talked about this, the short management forecast revenue between 1. Last time used to be 3. So anyone who found this, let's see if you're gonna make money or not. 2nd of December. Johnny, doesn't really matter whether it's a what candle or not. Blue candle, red candle, orange candle is fine. So a lot of people who already done this, when you talk about last week, coming back down, shorting quite nicely when the whole market has kind of gone up. Yeah, going down like that. And the next one is Bull Energy, 2nd of December as well, whatever stock price. In 5 days last week, it's also kind of 5 days down 5%, just like that. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Today we are still probably gonna be looking at shorting trades as well. Yeah, that's what looks like. We are probably doing here. Okay. Let's see. Cool. Awesome. So let's answer some of your questions. When you buy stocks, do you use share dealing? Normally, it will be share dealing ISA account. Do you suggest any pending order? If you really, really want to do anything to do with FOMC pending order, this is it. We're gonna go to the some stocks. So usually, if you really want to short something, you want to play things like that. Very dangerous for people who are not willing to lose money. You don't have to do that. But if you're willing to play and lose some money, that's what I'm gonna do. You can, like, for example, FOMC meeting is at 7 o'clock, isn't it? It's at 7 o'clock. Okay, 7 o'clock, for example. So you know that it's gonna spike up. Okay, so you're gonna spike. So you put a pending order just right at the top of the stocks that you want to short, and then it came up like that. It triggers, and then it come back like that. Yeah. So you put a pending order just above above the resistance line. Look at the previous peak of the volume, and you spike up like that, and you call it the day. Yeah, and you come back. It's a bit more advanced, but that's what happened. You can play on your practice account. You can play around with it. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's quite fun. But we have easier way to make money anyway. But the easiest way to make money, we wait for a really nice time, and then we just double our money, triple our money, 10 times, 20 times our money, like that, and we call it a day forever. Yeah, just one time, and our life gets easier and easier. Without looking at the charts all day. Cool. So, what are we looking for? So, yep, volume. How do we back test? Bruno, exactly what I showed you just now. Just go back in time. Does it need to be red? Awesome. Now let's look at homework right now. Okay, let's look at your beautiful homework. If you've done your homework, I want to repeat one time. This is the time where you send me your homework. Okay, you're gonna send it on the chat box. You can send your host and panelist, so only I can see your beautiful homework. Last week, a lot of people do the homework really beautiful. You talk about Nifon, it was coming down really nicely. Arbo Energy. Why do we short? Let's have a look. Projected result shifted from a surplus, just to show you why we make money, from a surplus to a net loss of -5. So company used to make money to a net loss. And because of that, we put in our shorting watch list last week, 2nd of December. Yeah. If you don't remember, then we need to see a little bit. And Fond as well. It was a good short because the management was talking about revenue forecast between 3 to 5% previously to 1%. So it's quite a drop. Yeah. Hence the market was dropping. Hence we put this on the watch list. You might already recommend something for me last week. See if your recommendation go down like that or go up like that, like a rocket beautifully. Nowhere in the history of trading and investing that you see things will go down so smoothly like that. Yeah. So how do we find this? We found this, if you remember last week, we spent quite a lot of time. We go to all of the companies, market screener, one by one, 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 like that. And that's how we found it. Okay. So a lot of you sent me the buying stocks. People would have gone for the buying stocks. And if you've gone for the buying stocks, you're probably not going to do so well if you do it last week. Hence, we didn't choose any buying stocks. I didn't look at the recording of last week to see if we recommended any buying stocks. Yeah. But very good. Very good. The more you see how I do it, the better you're going to get. Awesome. Let's see. FOMC is just, you don't need to know that. It's just the interest rate. It's just government doing the interest rate stuff. Yeah. Awesome. So let's look at this right now. If someone is asking if Lily is good for long, yes. A lot of students already own Lily as a stock. And if you want to own it, you still have to wait till the support line, which is the extreme field type. So a lot of students already own this big time. And yeah, coming back just below here will be nice. And the volume spike here, just here, will be really, really nice there. Yeah. Let's look at some of your homework real quick. Louis, beautiful. Let's see. There's no right or wrong answer, by the way, when you send me your homework. Okay, there's no right or wrong. It's just learning. All right. Cool. Beautiful. First of all, well done. So this is Corn Ferry. Let's see. Um, let's see. What is this? 9th of December. Beautiful. The thing is, these are all. Okay, let's compare a little bit, okay? So, for those who are new, who'll be like, Raven, there's so many numbers. Which one should I look at? Their revenue, their EPS, their diluted, all of that numbers. Which one should we look at? Okay, people ask me this question all the time. Now, this is the answer. This is the answer. Treat it like you are in a salary. Treat it like you are in a job. Treat it like you own a business, like you are in a job. Sometimes your companies give you gym membership. Sometimes your company gives you what? It gives you, I don't know, insurance. Sometimes your company gives you like food, all of that. Oh, Raven, which one should I compare? Oh, this company give me food, another BT company give me, Tesco give me insurance. Which one should I choose? You pull it all out. You compare everything they gave you. Yeah. So that's what happened. Don't choose one. There's no need to choose one. Just just accept anything they gave you and compare. Okay, and say whether you want to buy or sell, just about that. So let's have a look. So fee revenue was just 69 to 68. So it's a drop of 10 million. Okay, 11 to 115, 123. So it's a good short usually, but because it's too small, the difference. Okay, 690 to 680, 10 million difference is a little bit too small. Okay, we want at least 10%. All right, we want at least 10%. The bigger, the better. Okay, the bigger, the better. But very good. I love that you are trying this. Am I looking at the same thing? September. Pretend where I am. Okay, very good. Awesome. Right, next person. So once it's huge, then you start drawing your graphs. Okay. Once you know, wow, it's huge, it's beautiful. That's where you start drawing your beautiful graphs. So if you've done your homework, you can send it to me because a lot of people send it to me in thousands of different ways. It's nice to send the chat box right there so we can see. So let's look at this beautiful person's one. Okay. Awesome. Let's have a look. Um, Good. At least you're doing the guidance. That's very good. Yeah. So that's very good. You're going to doing a guidance, especially as a new students. Cool. Let's have a look. So it was what? 1.2, 1.4. So it's an increase. Yes. Good. Usually would have bought it straight away. Yeah. It's an increase, and going up. But I should say it looks like maybe there's some, thing going on there. Hmm. Okay, let's pull out everything first. Let's just pull out everything just to see how our market is doing for a second. Okay, I'm gonna pull out everything very quickly. Whenever you want to buy something, you want to go all in and stuff like that. Pulling out everything can be a good thing, so you kind of have a feeling of how the market is gonna do. So AAIA, Z, and all of that. So let's see. We are at 30. So 30 is one of the lowest we've ever seen. Okay. Yeah. If you remember, let's have a look. Let's download this sheet for you for a bit so you can see. So be like, oh, what's gonna happen when it's 30? Very simple. You have a look. When it's 30, which is yesterday or today, just highlight it 30 and see at that last time when would we have 30 as low as 30, which is insane. The last time we have 30 is here, guys. Not even joking. What is this? There. What else? Do you have anything lower than that? 40, 36, 39, 33. Okay, not very, very accurate. Okay, let's do it. Let's see more. 29, 30, a little bit over 30 here. And then what do we have? 30, 27. Okay. So if you look at the market, okay, let me just explain what does that mean for those who are new. This is bearish means how many people are shorting the markets. They think the market is going to crash. So no one thinks the market is going to crash. 44% thinks the market is going to go up big time. Okay. Um, and you will be like, oh, what's going to happen to the market when people are so confident? This is the lowest. Everyone thinks the market is going to go up. 44% are very bullish to the market. They think this market is going to go up. As you know, our strategy, we really go opposite of what most people do. So you see the last time when we have, when we are very similar to what we have got right now, 30, 23rd of January, like that time, a lot of our students already shorting the market. They sell a lot of the stocks already. Let's have a look. January 23rd. Let's see. US 500. When I do US 500, it's the same for Meta, it's the same for Tesla, it's the same for Nvidia, it's the same for all of that. Okay. So it's just easier to look at this. It's very similar. So January 23rd will just be there. Okay. So it's when the market started to come down a little bit. Okay. Started to come down. That's when we're January 23rd here, which is what we've got right now here. Okay. 4th on the December. Probably already came down 4th December. Yeah. It's probably around there. So it's 4th December. Today is like what? 9 already. 4th December kind of already went down there. You see? Yeah. Came down like that. Powerful strategy. Wow. Anyway, so that's what happened. That's the meaning of back testing, guys. When you go back in time, you kind of follow what happened, the very similar timing. So, let's look at some other things to see what's more likely gonna happen. Our VIX is so very low as well. Low VIX means, people are not shorting the market. Okay. Sometimes I like to look at this, I like to click the client sentiment. See what happened here. 50-50. All right, that's fine. Cool. So that's what we've got. So when we go to your market screener, we're just gonna look for shorting trades. So let's look. We've done that. We've done okay. Let's look at this NAIN report is still at the top. Wow. Top means usually it's gonna come down. What else have we not looked? Yeah, that's about okay. One more is like IG sentiment. Okay, when you're watching the video, IG sentiment, they change our website, they change to this one. So you kind of have to record it regularly every 6 months. Let's go click on that. SPX. If you still remember how to use this, for those, I think some people ask me how to use this. It's very simple. You draw the top, you draw the bottom. Okay, for those who are new, you draw the top. Okay, let's draw one more time. You draw the top, which is like here. Okay, this is the top. And you draw the bottom. The bottom is like, oh, I need to draw a straight line. Okay, it has to be a straight line. So let's pretend they are a straight line. So that's what happened. So you'll be like, oh, when there's that, that's what you do. That's what you do. So you can see, let's see, every single time when we are reaching, can you see the line crosses reaching here, reaching here? Market tends to come down. Market tends to come down. What else do we have? We've got, whenever we got at the top there, you see this is the top. Market tends to go out at the top. This is the line. This is the line. Yeah, that's the top. Market tends to go out a little bit there. So right now, according to this, last time we were here, it went down. So we just have to draw a straight line properly to see if it's actually reaching there. Okay, if it's touching there, then it will be nice. Okay, to come down a little bit. Not right now. It's kind of like a little bit of the middle, but it's interesting. Okay, interesting. Let's draw a straight line to see whether it's actually a straight line from here to here. Yeah, just a little bit there. From here to here a little bit. Okay, cool. Interesting. That's on the websites as well. Yeah, that's just on that. Cool. So let's look at some of your homework real quick. So this is good, but this looks like it's a buying, which is okay. Very good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you found 397, 400, that's fine. Mira, where's your paper? Send the group there. Awesome. Well done. How to send? Cannot drop the Excel here. You have to send a link. You have to send a Google Sheet link. Okay? You have to send a Google Sheet link. So you have to put on Google and then you have to send it on that. Right? For those who are new, who don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you how to do it. Go to Market Screener. For apprentices, you're going to get it, you're going to get everything. So companies, go to guidance here. And then you go on where profit warnings, okay, because you're looking for shorting. And then you want the countries. We can do all countries, that's fine. So let's go one by one right now. Designer brands, open it. Just click one by one. Boosted, misses profit, open. Homba is doing less business than expected, open. Fall after following. HP, downbeat outlook, let's open that. Revises guidance, open that. Updates, we open that. What profit taking replaces record high. Salesforce the earning top. I'm just looking for guidance. Okay, lower guidance. We open that. When looking for the future, basically, plunges 15% after FDA warning. We want companies problem. So profit at the low end. NHS slows commission. Profit at low end. Low end is still, still within the range. We want it to be unexpectedly low end. Newer brand going down like that. BIC outlook. Oops, let's go back there. Open that. Karen renews by surgical updates. Let's have a look on that. Burlington. Okay, all of that. Hilton, step down, TCM, UK. Okay, let's see. Designer brand. Okay, let's see. For the period, expect net sales down 3 to 5. Net sales provider earning guidance for fiscal for the period, expect designer net sales down 3 to 5. A little bit small. We want something huge. Estate means, let's have a look at this. Cat is outlook. So cat outlook means it's the same. Yeah. What is that? Let's see. Okay, sales are expected to be slightly above previous. Above, we're looking for shorting. Or this HP anticipate to be in the range of 9 for the quarter. Or what before? So it's 0.57, previous 0.62. A little bit drop. A little bit drop, but like not huge enough. We want expect 2, previous 2.25. This is the thing. We don't even want to plot the graph because it's so small. 2.2 to 2.25 is very small. Yeah. You want something kind of like a little bit bigger. Revises 3 compare down 3 to 4. Okay. This is also quite similar. Not huge. Pepper Brooks. Expect a net loss of 69. Previous was 2 million. Updated for the full quarter. Net loss 24. Previous was 2. We need to look into this a little bit more later. Airbus. Let's look at Airbus. So what I'm trying to look for, a huge going down, okay, on their next future. So let's have a look. Manufacture target 7.9, down from previous 6.82. So it's this job, but it's not like, massive. It's like 30 aircrafts. Margin becoming narrower. That's good. So we might be able to short this. At the current price, the stock is trading at 29 with the yield 1.5. We might be able to short this if we don't find anything better. So let's look at this. British private group, Spiro Healthcare, say that the annual warnings will come at the bottom end of the guidance, citing a slowdown of NHS activities to the independent sector due to budget restrictions. So NHS is not giving so much money to the private hospital called Spire Healthcare, because usually NHS will personally give money to other people just to take care of their patients. This whatever that is supports Britain NHS by taking patients off its waiting lists, at some tariff prices as local, and delivering all of that. While self-pay demand continues to grow, it has not been sufficient to offset all of that. The outlook comes that the company is reviewing a range of strategic options, including a potential sale of a business as a part of the effort, to address concern that business undervalued. The sale of a business is a huge thing. It's like companies going bankrupt. When any companies use the word bankrupt, they are thinking whether or not they can continue to operate. A lot of these terms, the more you read it, the more you know what kind of terms they use. It's a red flag. You can short these things. Expect adjusted to be the broad rank, in line ahead compare. Company has expected a record profit of 270. This is a disappointing statement, particularly downgrade for the full year, given the expected to deliver a 30 million pound of cost savings. imply the core business will be going backwards. This is what other people are saying. We don't really care about that. This is what analysts say. So, usually what you're gonna be doing, you're gonna go on this company, type investor into Google, and pull out the quarter guidance. Pull out last year, the year before, the quarter before, pull it all out and see this 270 to 280 million. Is it very, very low or very, very high? Okay. So if it is low, then we will be shorting it. Now, because they use the word potential sale of a business, so for me personally, this could be a shorting already. Yeah. Could be a shorting already. So let's do that. So let's go to Spire Healthcare. A lot of people already short it on the March, December. When you do the homework every single day, especially apprentices, you do the homework every single day. When we do it, help you to do it, you already be very confident to know what to do. Let's do it. Click on that. And then let's say you click short because just some keywords. Just some keywords. Let's have a look. The keywords here will just be the beautiful. This one. The outlook review is straight. Outlook. They want to sell their business. That's crazy. Potential sale. The numbers wise, let's have a look. They say it's kind of come at the bottom end of the guidance. That's kind of like what numbers says. Okay, let's copy that. What else? Healthcare support, demand, all of that. Expect a beta to be broadly in line, slightly ahead, compared with the market estimation. So when is it saying this? It's just saying recently, isn't it? Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna copy. Let's just copy the whole bit. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna copy the link. Just in case you want to, read it back. Let's go to the next one. Gubade. Okay, let's look at that first. Spire Healthcare. Spire Healthcare. 3rd of December. Lots of our students already showed on the 3rd of December. That's when the news happened. The news doesn't happen today. Let's say you miss the 3rd of December, you still have 4th of December. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, let's come back. Lots of students already screaming. View bad. Let's have a look. Revises with profits, announcing a downwards financial following an inspection by the FDA. Put patient, reaffirm. Let's see. Okay, decrease of revenue 425 compared to the slight decrease of -1 previously announced. Let's read this. A decrease in revenue between 425 at the constant exchange rate compared with a slight decrease of -1. Potentially, okay, potentially, but it's probably not huge enough. Noble brand, let's have a look, revises its guidance to be lower end of the previously. Okay, we don't really have the number there. Big outlook cut, revises tariffs, attention now incoming CEO. Okay, let's read this a little bit. So they're talking about the DCF, the price now is now 59.8. So it's supposed to drop 8% from where it was. So now it's 47. Still undervalued already. The weak performance, this is due to a tariffs. It's just about tariffs. Okay. Profit warning, -1, previous 0, not huge enough. This is okay. Not massively huge enough. Lower projection for the forecast, slight reduction, and CEO might be coming. Some people might would have already shorted this on the 1st of December because, you know, from 0 to -1, 15 to 13, 240 to 210. Okay. A little bit of a drop on everything. Let's see. BIC. Can't find it. That's fine. What is this? BIC. What's that? It's a French company. Next one. We've got surgical sciences. That's really very fast. 60, 90. Not saying a lot. Burlington store. Full year 9. Previous guidance was 9. Sales growth. Let's read it again. Full year was about 8. Previous was 7 to 8. 9.96. A little bit up. Okay. A little bit up. Dick Sporting. Race is annual. If you raised it, it's not really a short, is it? Forecast compare. So you went up, yeah, a little bit there. Some students already bought it on the 25th of November. Because when you read it, 2 to 3.5 is a raise. 13.9 to 14.25 is a ups as well. What happened? 25th of November. Food Locker. It's not coming. It's fine. Cool. So macrolis, let's read this real quick. Profit to be below market expectation due to lower order volume and delays. Profit warnings to deliver full year revenue below. Expect to be below market expectation 1.3, 91. You expect to deliver no less than 84 in revenue. Last year was 79. Let's look at the numbers properly. Warning comes as to deliver revenue below the market expectation. You expect to deliver no less than 84. Last year was 79. Let's read it one by one. This is what countries. PLC. Okay. Expect profit to be below. Usually expect taxes to fall below. Expect to be no less than. Okay, look at the language they use. No less than 8.3. This is why if you do any countries that's not in the US, normally we just focus on the US only. Okay. And if you do any other countries that's not in the US, they use colorful languages that is not really regulated. Profit warning, no less than 8.3. Profit warning comes, expect full year revenue below. Expect to achieve no less than, the brain is like turning, no less than 84. Last year, the company reported 79. Attributed reduction. So obviously it's a drop, but we just want to see how much drop it is. UK were hurt by the delay. A lot of negative words. Cost savings, annual cost. We have a strong base. We have the action. Okay. Cool. I might come back to this. These kind of things you kind of have to like pull at least 2 companies out, like 2 quarters out. Time to Google, pull it out. And if you short it, you're gonna make a lot of money. Because it's very negative here. But we're just trying to know the number. They're using a lot of crazy name. You expect to no less than 84 in revenue. Last year was 79. Maybe this is always increasing. Yeah. So So it's definitely a short, but we just need to know the exact number. UKS4, let's look at this real quick. Again, not re projected between 26 to 28, lower than last year. What is last year? So you have to go back to check the guidance for last year to see what the numbers is in order to short it. Some people would have already short it and making money while screaming. Cool. So the last one is just micro list. Let's see what does this company do? Micro list. I'm gonna do it for you. This is a technology kind of like a company like that. So how do you find out what they do? Type investor. And then just pull out the statement out. Let's see if you can find the statement. So you go on to result and presentation. So there's a lot. Different countries, different companies, they will announce it in a different way. We're gonna click on, what is this? Let's look at this. We're gonna click on, let's get news, shareholder constitutional AGM result, and this one kind of compare like that. Let's see what it's gonna say. It's gonna be a bit difficult to compare, but we're gonna see. Metropolis, all of that. Oh, nothing going on. It's just AGM result. This is AGM result. Okay. Click on that. Click on that. Where's the document? There's different countries. They do things in kind of a little bit different way. Organization, document result presentation. It looks like this is the one. Let's open it, see what happened. June. Financial highlight. Outlook. That's the outlook. No numbers. Wow. All right. Is that how you read it? Yes. Wow. Platform, this is all of that. Why you think operation, business inclusion. Nice. See, let's see. So this is why market screen is so powerful. So we're gonna copy and paste what they have on here. So no less than 8.3. So let's do that. Let's Google alternate F 8.3. Let's see if it comes up. If it doesn't come up, let's open this micro list. Just put it on here, micro list group. Let's get directly from here. All news from all of that. So let's read. Announce, provide earning guidance. Let's click it. Expect all earnings call. Okay, so they say in the earnings call. Report half of the year. Post, declare. Yeah, they say in the earnings call. So you kind of have to read the transcript a little bit. Yeah, that's the one. This 8.3. Oops. That's the word they're using here. Expect to be below, seeing lower, that, and 4 million. So let's see if we can alternate F4 here. It's a bit too much. 4 million, 4 million. Still 4 million real quick. Okay. Okay, so it looks like that's the guidance then. Just sound around the song. Like that. Okay. Oops. Where are we? Ooh, what's going on? Make the call. Yep, microlist coming back, microlist. So you go market screener if you find it difficult to find it from the website. Usually it's like that, especially from like countries you never heard before. You know, if you go to South Africa and stuff like that, you know, they all have stocks, but it's just they announce it in a very different way, each countries. And so yeah, so that's what happened. So microlist, so the US is kind of the easiest one. Microlist group, you will see revenue below market expectations, seeing a lower volume, caution expecting revenue, cost saving measures, 40 expected headcounts, reduction of around 10%. So where do they get that word from? Let's see if I can find 10% here. So you put the word 10, just trying to see where they get a 10% from. This is alternate F, yeah? We're just trying to find the word 10. Just trying to see where they get the word 10% from. So between these letter. Yeah. Let's see 10% here. Alternate F, let's put 10 here. So not really here. So what we've got is just right here. Headcount reduction. Headcount. Okay. I think it's another statement that we haven't found. Headcount. Need two headcount there. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Some students, if you see lower order, and then we've got some statement just right. Okay, let's look at this. Provide earning below expectation, no less than 84. Up 4 versus 24. Below current market expectation, no less than 84 million. Last year was 81 million. Then you go back there. If you read it, micro sync profit. So just expect 8.3, report 11. There are more words here. So we're just going to alternate F all of these words into the shareholder letter to find the exact word where they actually get it from. Profit warnings comes 81, no less than 84. Profit warning comes, expect to deliver full year below. So market was expecting 81, 91. So it's going to deliver just 84. So it's actually quite a little bit low. Some people who have already shorted it on the 24th of November, okay, microlist. Because if you look at it carefully, 81, 91, 84. The difference is 7.3. 7.3 divided by 7.3 divided by 91.3. Expect 81, 7.3, expect less than. Yeah, so you divide by 84. So if I divide by 84, 7.384. Okay. No less than 8.3. Let's see. 8.3, 84. Okay, that's fine. No less than 8.3. Because market expectation was 91, it's only gonna do 84. Type the chat box. Would you buy or would you sell? If you have to click one button, would you buy or would you sell? Just type the chat box for me. 81. So market was expecting, everyone was expecting, okay, let's do 81, let's do 81. Sorry, let's do 91. And then accidentally, it's only come up no less than 84. So it's around 84. Let's make it 84 just to be easier. Then the chat box. Would you buy or would you sell? If you have to choose one button, obviously it's okay not to do anything as well. But if you got to choose one button, market expectation is quite huge because when people are expecting this is what you are gonna get, and you don't get less like 1%, 2%. You are getting less, quite a big percentage. So that's quite huge. So let's have a look. So wow, Leo says sell, Nora says sell, Esther says Leo, Bill says Laksa says sell, Mo says Zoom Ben, Esther, Jack, just let's have a look. Let's have a look. If you sell, would you make money or not? So 24th of November, okay, 24th of November, when market expectation was like that, what is this? Micro list. 24th of November. Where are we? Wow, what's this? 24th of November. Cool. It was just right there. Yeah. Let's pretend you missed that. So you came back down really, really nicely and slowly and crazy like that. So congratulations. You got it right. So well done, Carlo, Lawus, Naomi, Tejas, Jack, Esther, Laksuki, Vish, David, Sel. Well done. You are doing it really right. Awesome. That's it. That's what we found. So we kind of only found one like that. Yeah, which is fine. I think the one last week will still be fine. If you haven't got in yet, if you want to try, you can, especially if you are new. Yeah. So for apprentices, as we said, what is the things to look for this week? We talked about coffee last week. So as I said, if coffee comes all the way high up to 375, like that, this is a resistance line. It could be a nice to short, okay? Or you can practice on your account if you don't really know how to do it. Apprentices, and then the cattles as well. Cattle, we are waiting for it to come up to the higher point. Right now it's kind of the middle point. A high point here will be really, really nice here. Yeah. So usually, let's have a look. Usually like that. A little bit there. A little bit there. This is not so much of volume. These are back testing. Each one people trade it differently. Yeah. So there's some resistance there's as well. And yeah, and some of the trades that we recommend as well. You can see our time is almost up now. You can see when this come down really nicely, you definitely, when it comes here, we definitely want to move your one-to-one to put on a lot of positions on so that, we can make big together, especially on apprentices. Okay. Take a screenshot of that, especially the one at the tops as well. So you kind of get ready. Yeah. Cool. That's it for today. I hope you are doing really, really well. Very, very excited for apprentices. Let's wrap it up this week so we can get you started properly. All right. Awesome. So let's see. Instead of comparing previous, can you compare with the new guidance with the analysts? And I love this question. Okay. The question right now is there are three people that's going to give you market prediction. The first is the company itself. Second is the actual. The third is the analyst. Okay. The golden mine comes from when the guidance is bigger than everyone else. That's a jackpot. Okay. What do you mean? So if I only expect tomorrow to, let's say, let's say the weather is very hot. We are expecting the sun, you know, let's say today is snowing, yeah, and tomorrow you want the weather to be good, okay? One person is expecting the weather to be like okay, another person to be like okay, but it's snowing, it's December, it's snowing, it's cold. Oh, okay, everyone says okay, probably gonna be not so cold. But tomorrow is like hot wave coming in, so there's above expectation. That's where the hot heat, that's where the jackpot comes, is where you make a lot of money, yeah. But if it's just in the middle like that, you'll be like, yeah, this one, Spire Healthcare and things like that. Okay. Awesome, everyone. Hope you learned something new. And I will speak to you very, 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 very soon. Mel say, thank you. You're welcome. We have Shivani say, thank you. You're welcome. Carmen Jones, long time coming. Hope you're doing well. Jack, I have Nora. We have Leo. Nora, I love your text. David, welcome home. We have Bruno. We have Tejas. We have Lakshana. Elwin. We have Ajay. We have Janos, really, really nice. We've got Ajay saying thank you, Amma. We have Amma, we have Alwin, we have Amma, we have Sparna. Welcome. We have Barry, we have Bobby, we have Bobby, we have Brendan, we have Calvin, we have Carmen, Dave, Esther, Jack, John, Josh, Kim, Laura, Kim, May, Melissa, Mira, Nora, Patrick, Paula, Stan, Suki, Tejas, and Vish. Awesome. David, really, really nice. Thank you, Davis. Speak to you guys very, very soon. Yeah, really, really nice. You can see some of our students were sending this freaking screenshot here, really, really nicely. Where's the screenshot? Really, really nicely. There's as well. Where's the screenshot? Yeah, really, really nicely, using some of the traits that we kind of recommend. It's actually 100%, but it's 86, not bad out of 56 traits. Return usually is above one. Strategy is making money, powerful strategy. Average profit 1, average loss 300, 3 to 6, 4 to 1 reward ratio, like that. Yeah. Cool. A lot of students are sending me crazy screenshots. Well done. Keep it coming. Speak to you soon. Nice. Let's answer some questions. Um, New here, Bruno. If you are new, make sure you go back and watch the video again. Okay. Make sure you finish week 2, week 3, and finish all of the videos like at least 5 times. Some people who are confused, make sure you finish a video 5 times. Start from week 2. Yeah. Anne was like, week 4 is going to be a bit tricky to understand, but treat it like you are doing a salary. Okay, that will be easier. I was asking, like, after initial drop, how do you know whether it's going to retrace 50% drop? Sometimes I put a pending 50. After a big drop, it doesn't retrace. I love what you said. The answer, the answer to that, I tried to figure out for a long, long time what you just told me. But the answer to your questions, not many people know, but the answer is you have to go back in time to look at last time if this stock tends to pull back. Because as you said, people like to do the same thing forever. So you have to see whether it likes to pull back or not. If it likes to pull back, it might pull back again. Yeah, because that stock likes to pull back. So if it likes to pull back, it might pull back again. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So you have to see if last time does it pull back or not. If it pull back, probably it's gonna pull back again. Awesome. I really love your questions. Any more questions, guys? We are here for you. Resh, do you change every day for pending orders? No, Resh, you don't get charged every day for pending order. Comparing previous, let me see what else. Sometimes I miss the questions because there's so many. How do you send homework? What is FOMC? Well done, David. You're doing so well, David. Raven, do you trade FOMC or do you wait for normal to come back to normal? The easiest guarantee way is to wait for it to come back down to the support, and then you go all in and you make big money. Could you compare BTC chart this session? Crypto looks like it's rallying at the moment, but US sort of flat. You're absolutely right, Ann. You're absolutely right. I just look at your message right now. Could you compare BTC and US chart this session? Crypto looks like it's rallying moment, but US 500 sort of flat. Let me think. You're quite right. You're quite right. At this moment in time, okay? At this moment in time. Vishwan, really good. Who is Vishwan? So good. 8 times a year. Vishwan, you're so good. Evening, windy here in Newcastle. Wow. Brandon, please text me. So happy. You're welcome, Bruno. Really good to see you. Awesome, guys. Speak to you very, very soon, yeah?